All right, guys, we are live with episode 113.
Didn't screw it up.
of Beastly Thoughts Live. Welcome,
you,
everybody. I hope you guys had an awesome week. I'm really excited to talk a little bit about E3. We got the first two E3 conferences, right? Or did we only get one today?
We got one so far. The next one will be
One
at
today?
10 o'clock p.m. Eastern, which will be past.
I want to do a little speculating about what we're going to see over on PS4 and Xbox One. We're going to talk about what we've been playing. We got a lot to talk about today. E3, it's like Christmas for gamers, right?
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
It's more like, though, finding out what you're going to get for Christmas.
What you got to spend.
But not be able to open anything.
Wait 2 more years for this. Yeah.
I guess E3 has different meanings to different people. To kids, it's like Christmas. To parents, it's like a nightmare because they have no clue what's going to happen, and their kid comes running out of their room.
Right.
There's 8 new games coming this year, and the parents are like, holy shit. I've always loved E3 since I was a kid. I remember when they first started them. I remember when Tokyo Game Show was a big thing. And every year that they come around for me and my family now, it's kind of like a holiday. Last year, I took off for the whole week of E3 and stayed home.
That's right. I remember you did that. You didn't do it
No,
this year?
not this year. This year, I got to kind of manage my time a little bit better. I went to the Bahamas earlier this year, went to Ohio, and now I'm kind of just biding my time and planning it out a little bit smoother. I want to just blow my load before I get to the end of the year. I need to have a little bit more time left, But yeah, EA's E3 conference happened earlier today, 3 hours ago at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And I watched it. Briar, you didn't get a chance to see it, but you did watch some of their trailers.
Yeah, I watched all the videos that came out of it, and I read a couple of write-ups about it. But I didn't get to watch it live. I was under my desk doing cable management.
Oh, okay. Normally, when I'm under the desk, my wife is sitting at it. All right, but anyway, we're going to talk. Yeah, you got that right. Bring a little bit of 3D. I forgot Robbie's only 14. I'm sorry.
I'll just leave it out.
We're going to talk about what we've been playing. And what have you guys been playing this week? Because last week it was a little dead. I guess a little slow for us as far as the games we were playing. I had to switch it up a little bit. Robbie, what have you been up to?
Playing the waiting game till E3, and now E3's here. That's all I've really been playing, honestly. Yeah, I've just been so pumped for E3, and now it's here. Even if the EA conference wasn't the greatest, we'll get into it, but I'm still so excited for tonight, and then tomorrow's going to be awesome.
Okay, well, there's nothing wrong with waiting. You played enough games this year. You could probably wait till the end of the year, and you'd probably play a lot more games than the average gamer. What about you, Brian? What have you been up to? I know Destiny's on that palette.
Of course, Destiny's on the palette. I've been playing a ton of Destiny. I also finally picked up Uncharted 4, so I'm really excited to get into that. I bought it like a week and a half ago. I still haven't opened it.
Brian, you got to get into it.
Hold on, Robbie.
I know.
Just don't sit it next to Far Cry 4, please.
Right?
That's the area of the room that you don't look at. Put it on top of the PlayStation 4, okay?
But what I've actually really been up to this week is like doing an office redesign, right? I've got this office that I make YouTube videos in, I stream in, and I also just play video games here for my own enjoyment. So I've been trying to set this thing up to really suit my needs much better than it was doing. So you can see, obviously, I got the green screen behind me. I also got a new desk. Yeah, I got a new desk. It's like a standing desk. So while I'm working on videos or while I'm doing voiceover, I can be standing up instead of sitting down like all day long. And I'm really enjoying that, but it's been a lot more work than I anticipated, to be honest with you. I thought, I'll put a day into it and then be done with the project until I get the next, set of gear in. But really, it's been, cable management and rearranging things, learning how the lights work, learning, getting the green screen set up just right. So it's been a lot of work, but it's been really interesting work. Like it's fun to do. So I've been doing a lot of that this week.
Well, I mean, some people do their gardening. Some people do, just moving furniture, putting out wallpaper. You're doing the kind of stuff that I honestly have a passion for.
Right.
That is
like the fun stuff.
That's our Better Homes and Gardens, what you're doing right now. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
Totally.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm doing like a video series about it too. So the second video in that series will be out. It was supposed to get out today, but I just kind of ran out of time, so it'll probably go out tomorrow.
Yeah, well,
I love setup videos.
This is going to be a busy week.
I know, me too.
They're so good. I love them.
This is going to be a busy week. This is E3 week, and more likely than not, we're going to do videos that we probably haven't anticipated and have no clue we're going to be interested in until a couple days from now. So just relax. Don't get too hyped and too into things because you're going to have to pull back a little bit and make some videos on shit that we don't know. I promise you that. And so, is there anything new in Destiny that you've been enjoying, or have you just been doing a lot of remodeling and I would say upgrading the game room?
It's mostly been upgrading. It's I've been playing a lot, and yesterday I did a long run with actually Wilson, who's in chat right now, of Trials of Osiris, and had a great time doing that. But yeah, I've been spending a lot of time optimizing my setup for streaming because that's still a new thing for me. Trying to get everything working just as well as I can, and making it work.
I look forward to the finished product. You've always had some really awesome setups, and I know this is going to be even more awesome than the previous. Now, when it comes to what I've been playing, last week I finished playing Alien Isolation on PS4. I talked about that briefly. Everybody's like, what the fuck is he talking about? And I went and bought Odin Sphere Leaf for Seer, which is a very strange name. Odin Sphere is a game that came out on the PlayStation 2 years ago as an Atlas game. It was hand-drawn, and they remastered it, added new bosses and characters and elements to the story, and it re-released on PlayStation 4 on the 7th. And I've been playing that since then. Well, actually, since the 9th, I've been playing it. And I've been putting in a lot of hours. And my God, this game it's a must-play game. There's so much to this game. The story is incredible. The voice acting, of course, is really, really good. If you're an anime fan, you'll instantly love this game. They've added so much to this game versus the original. It's a side-scrolling, what we consider beat-em-up, but it does have elements of RPG. There's crafting elements. You can actually create potions and magical spells by planting seeds in the ground. You find seeds, you plant them, then you basically nourish the seed. You watch it grow in front of you, and then a particular fruit will grow from it. Boom, you use the fruit for whatever kind of ability that that fruit may have. It's just so many things going on. And there's, believe it or not, 5 different stories in the game. I've just finished the first one, and it took 11 hours.
Wow.
For the very first story. So and believe it or not, the size of the file, which kind of irked me because the game was a full price game. It was $59.99. When I downloaded the full game, it was 3.5 gigs. I was like, holy shit, 3.5 gigs. But my wife and I last night finally finished the very first characters. And it took her, I think, 13 hours. It took me 11 hours. And now we're moving on to the second. So there's tons of replayability. They added all kinds of new online modes and kind of horde modes, things that didn't exist back in PlayStation 2 days, to kind of add new replayability to this game. But it's called Odin Spear. The demo is available on the PlayStation Store. So anybody out there with a PS4, this is a PlayStation exclusive, unfortunately. It's on PS4. I believe it's on PlayStation Vita as well.
It's kind of a rare game on PS2 too, isn't it? It's like it's hard to find. The people like it's kind of one of those famous games where everybody's like, you got to check it out if you can find a copy. It's nice to hear that.
A friend of mine came down from New York 2 weeks ago, or almost 2 weeks ago, and he hung out with me and my wife, and we played the demo, and he had never had a chance to play it. And we grew up together down here in Georgia playing it. He played the demo, and he was really upset that he never had a chance to play it. And I have the actual PlayStation 2 physical copy, because I played it back then, so I understood exactly what a special game this was.
Yeah.
And if you guys check out the demo. That'll let you know right there if this is the kind of game for you. But it has tons of replayability. I did a 300-hit combo on somebody. I mean, you can do like Street Fighter moves in this game. They said they've kind of added Mortal Kombat into the mix of the game because initially there was just 5 or 6 different moves that each character had. There are literally 30 or 40 moves now. There's a huge skill tree reminiscent of Final Fantasy 12 where you open it up and there's little balls and you just, boom, you unlock one. It's a new ability. You can create your own custom move for it. So it's not just, up and right, or you can make your own. So
this thing's on PlayStation Store now?
Yes, it's so good, Briar. It's really, really,
and how much is it?
Really, it's full price. It's $59.99.
$59.99.
But it has, like I said, I just got done with the very first character story, and I've been going for 11 hours, and it's just tons and tons of fun. It's an incredible game. I will be reviewing that, and I'm sure it's going to be a much better game than my last review. But I'm liking it more now than the original. But the great thing about the PlayStation 4 version is that they actually included the original classic on there as well.
Oh,
so
really?
if you ever want,
cool.
Yeah, some of the big differences in this one and the original is that the original had major issues with frame rate. because they were trying to do so much with all the sprites, plus all the characters are hand-drawn, that sometimes the game would get down to 15, 20 frames per second.
That was a problem with the PlayStation 2 as well. Is it,
when you
it
got these
had
big boss
issues. We're having Skype issues, aren't we? That was a problem with the PlayStation 2. Is it had issues with 2D games. It just wasn't.
Yeah, it had major problems.
Yeah.
The great thing about it is now it's a full 60 frames per second, a constant 60, and if you go back to the classic mode, you will see those frame dips. They actually put the original classic on there without all the new moves, without all the new enemies. The new enemies look astounding. They've kind of added this 2.5D element to some of the newer enemies and the newer animations. It's just a great game, and I implore anybody out there who has a history of someone's hitting the keyboard with a hammer.
Sorry.
But no problem. If you have a history of 2D games that you actually really enjoy, I would implore you to check it out. It's on PlayStation 4, and PlayStation Vita. It's called Odin Sphere.
Oh, it's on Vita?
Leafs. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah,
And I didn't download it. Now I was thinking about it. It better be crossplay. It better be cross-buy, because if it's not, I'm gonna lose my mind. But definitely check it out.
I'm always looking for a reason to play something on my Vita. Man, I love that hardware so much, and I've never got a reason to play it.
Yeah, well, if this is on Vita, I will definitely be breaking my Vita out. Believe it or not, last week I went and bought Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified on the Vita.
Oh, bad
that
move.
Is not a good game.
Bad move.
Yeah, that's a rough game.
Yeah, I knew it was a bad move. I went into my local area pawn shop, and I saw it there, and I got it for just a couple of dollars. It's one of those games that, historically is so bad that you just have to own it. I went to the multiplayer map and I walked around, and it just looking at it, I turned it off and never even finished the match. So.
Just turned it off.
Yeah, it's one of those games, man. It's bullshit.
It's a bad game.
That game could have saved the Vita. It really could have, if they put a real talented developer behind it and made Call of Duty. If they just ported Black Ops 2 to it, it would have been a big deal. And that was my week in gaming, guys.
All right. Let's talk about EA, because they just had their press conference. You guys watched it. I didn't watch it live, but I've gone through and checked out some of the videos. I wanted to start off with Titanfall. Can we start off with Titanfall 2?
Oh, yeah.
Because
definitely.
to me, it's the most exciting thing EA's got to show. I know a lot of people are going to be excited about Battlefield 1, but for me, Titanfall 2 is the thing. It looks great. I'm really excited to hear that there's like a real story to it. Like, they had a little trailer, and it got me instantly amped up to play Titanfall 2. It did.
That campaign trailer was so good.
It is, yeah. It really excited me as well. As somebody who initially wasn't in on the ground floor of the original Titanfall. Now, after having Titanfall and having both consoles, I'm super amped for it. It looks bigger, better, more exciting, more moves. The kind of shit that they showed in this trailer just hasn't been done before. And so I'm excited to see exactly where it goes. They showed some single-player campain, Briar.
Right.
Which is a phrase that
game
we don't
needs
know
that desperately. World. It makes it a much better value. The multiplayer definitely had a lack of depth, and we'll have to see if they can fix that for Titanfall 2. But seeing a single-player campaign almost makes it a must-buy for me, because I know that I want to explore that world. I want to know more about that world. Ever since the trailer started showing up for Titanfall 1, I got excited to explore that world. It's just a cool sci-fi universe with all that movement and the mechs and everything. We get swords this time with our mechs, man. Like, that looks cool. So I'm really actually I'm getting pretty amped up for Titanfall 2, and it's not that far away.
Well,
Absolutely.
that's one of the games they showed, one of the few games, I should say, that EA actually showed that was actually real gameplay. And that was exciting. They showed, seamless integration of you running through the map, getting scooped up by your mech and slammed into its chest. And see, this is what you're talking about, which I totally agree with. They're kind of breathing real life into this world. Now we're starting to understand that these mechs, the AI is so advanced that they're almost living. They're almost alive.
Yeah.
They'll talk to you and they'll protect you. It's like The Last Guardian. It's kind of like having one of those big, squirrel dogs walking around with you. These guys are almost alive, and that breathes a whole new degree of realism and breadth into that world. Something we didn't get in part 1. We didn't really know. So I'm anxious to finally see what Respawn's take is on this sci-fi world. I want to know if they can make it, an engaging environment that we want to see more of, that we want to learn more of. Because games like Destiny, games like Mass Effect kind of have that. People really want to dig deep and find out more about the lore. Titanfall's never had that because it didn't exist in the first place. And so this is kind of their first step into that direction. I think it's a great move. And I'm really more excited, honestly, to see like I said, what they're going to do with the single player aspect of the game, because that's really going to be the deciding factor on what Respawn's initial idea was for this game.
I really want a good multiplayer though. I mean, that multiplayer was fun as hell to play. Like the movement, I still say they got the movement better than any game's done since. Like that wall running, jumping. Now they got like a grappling hook. Like that stuff they nailed in the first Titanfall. The only thing that failed was the fact that you never felt like you were progressing toward anything. And now that we feel like we are used to that in games now. Like it feels like it's missing if it's not there in games now.
Yeah.
So there needs to be like a progression system. There needs to be unlockables. There needs to be like more stuff. But I mean, the base gameplay was fun as hell.
Now let me ask you a question, because you undoubtedly played more Titanfall than the rest of us. Do you think they need to continue on the path they were when it comes to AI bots, or do you think they should move away from that?
I didn't like the AI bots that much because it was boring to fight them. Fodder, yeah, they were just cannon fodder. It didn't mean anything. So I'd rather they just keep it to player versus player. Maybe have a game mode that has them in, and maybe have a game mode on smaller maps that doesn't have them in there.
Well, they did mention that they were listening to the community, and so they made a big, humbug on stage about this. They said, we've been listening to the community, so we'd like to introduce the single-player campaign. So the community was just as vocal about the AI bots as they were about the lack of a campaign. Mm-hmm. So hopefully they've listened to both aspects of the community, not just one. Because Titanfall, for me, for the little bit of time I did play it, it felt really fun. Like you said, the way that the controls worked, the guns, all that stuff felt seamless.
Yeah.
But
there were problems, like a lot of the guns felt the same. A lot of the guns were just completely useless. There was clearly, at launch, one best gun that everybody was using. Yeah. So, they got a lot of work to do there, but I'm excited for it. You want to talk about Battlefield 1 a little bit?
Yeah, well, actually, let's go through just briefly and touch on some of the things that they talked about.
Okay.
Of course, get the hell out of here. Starting in order, they did Titanfall 2, which to me was probably the most exciting thing they showed. They went on to Madden 17. They showed a little bit of the gameplay of Madden 17, which to me looks like, the previous Madden games. For me, I'm not the biggest football, basketball, sim sports fan, so I wasn't super hyped about it. They did talk about the Madden competition that's taking place now and how it's been over 1 million players, is down to the final 8. I was actually more excited to see who wins that than to look at the Madden game, because the game just focus. Yeah, it's really, really, really sports focused, and for me, that's not why I play games. But moving on, they did touch on Mass Effect Andromeda. They kind of gave a little bit more of the backstory of Mass Effect, traveling through space for, some odd years, waking up, and the old worlds have all died and gone away, and a whole new civilization and worlds have arisen, new planets and everything. And now you're like you're the alien now. There's new races and all this stuff. But they showed more behind the scenes of developers sitting at computers and kiosks drawing pictures and stuff that they showed last year. And I'm thinking, it's been a whole year. You guys can't show us anything. They did show what I consider a vertical slice of what the game could look like.
Well, we're not expecting that game this year, right?
Next year. Early.
Maybe next year.
Well, you gotta look at how long it's been in development. It's been in development since 2013.
Yeah, but they've had well-publicized problems in development. Well-publicized. So, I mean, the fact that it's going slow, we all want a great game, right? We want a great Mass Effect game.
I'd rather that, I'd rather it be good than be rushed, If they rush it and it lacks, that quality of the previous games, even Part 3, then there's going to be a problem. Mass Effect is real to me. In my mind, Mass Effect stands alone side by side with things like Star Wars and Star Trek. It has its own lore, and it has its own believable atmosphere. It's not like most games. Yep. When you go there, you actually want to go to different planets and talk to these different races and see what's going on. That's the kind of worlds that they built with Mass Effect. But I would have liked to have seen more. And kind of keeping with the tropes of what EA's been doing here, most of their reveals were stuff that we knew about, or pre-rendered scenes, no real gameplay.
That's what I was getting that feeling. Like I said, I didn't watch the thing live, but I kept looking at all the trailers, all the news stories, and there were some cool announcements. The Originals program, they're really going to take a indie focus, which I'm really excited for. I always like those smaller games. bite-sized chunk games. I really like that kind of stuff. But yeah, there wasn't much there wasn't much to get super excited about.
Yeah, I mean, the EA originals, of course I like my indies, and that's really what they're focused on. They did show a new indie that they're working on called Fee, which it's a game. It's nothing to be super excited about if you ask me, and it also is nothing bad about it. Just for me, watching the trailer, it didn't grab me. Who knows? It might be one of my favorite games of all time. They showed FIFA. They showed FIFA 17, The Journey, which they're trying
campaign now. What's with that?
They're making FIFA into the Need for Speed. They want it to have its own storyline. They wanted to have a character that you. I forget the guy's name because I forgot.
Alex Hunter was what his name was.
I should have known you'd know, Robbie. Yeah. Alex Hunter walked out on the stage and he said, "You don't know me yet, but you will." Then he went on this little short monologue about his travels in the world of soccer. Then they transition to the game, and of course he's the character in the game, and you're going through this single player campaign as him. And of course, instead of driving cars or in a boxing ring, you're kicking balls. And I know a lot of people who like kicking balls. So who knows? It might be good. It might not be. But I like to see when developers try new things and take things in different directions. Sports games with single-player campaigns, it might scratch the itch of some players who don't traditionally play sports games. I don't. You won't catch me. I got NBA 2K16. It was free. Will I play it? Probably not. If it had a single-player campaign that you could get into and kind of flesh out and see something exciting, I probably would. So this FIFA 17, The Journey, I think is going to appeal to more than traditional FIFA fans. I think it's a good thing.
FIFA's huge. FIFA's it's a gigantic game. Yeah.
It's the biggest sport on earth, but it's probably not as big here as some of the other sports. But when it comes to on the planet, of course, soccer is the number one sport. They did show some Star Wars stuff. Which
did they?
Did they? No, not really. No,
they talked about showing it.
They showed everything that already exists. They showed.
I'll say what my problem with this is right now. As soon as Jade Raymond came out and said, we're doing a Battlefront sequel next year, and then we're doing Visceral Star Wars game, which won't be out until 2018, basically they were just giving release dates for unannounced games that haven't been announced yet. That was so frustrating to me. Like, they just showed more behind the scenes, and they had nothing to show. Why are you having a conference and you have nothing to show? I don't understand.
Amy Hennig talked for a minute. She went on Twitter, and she made a tweet, and she was like, so excited the new trailer is coming out. And Shuhei Yoshida was like, congratulations. And she was like, thanks. And I was like, Amy, I even tweeted Amy Hennig. I said, we would have liked to have seen something or got some kind of details.
Well, it's not there yet. They can't.
We don't really know anything. So what was the point of?
We know that Visceral Games is developing a Star Wars game that's coming out in 2018. That's all we know, really, right?
Respawn's working on one too. I mean, everybody's working on a Star Wars game. I love the Star Wars. Yeah, I love Star Wars. But I think
BioWare's definitely working on one.
Yep.
Yeah,
they are.
What do you think that'll be?
Knights of the Old Republic 3.
Right?
Something amazing. Yeah, I'm sure.
If they made KOTOR 3, I would shit my pants. That would be, it would be a hell of a YouTube video. I mean, I love Knights of the Old Republic. It's one of those special games, kind of like Odin Spear, believe it or not. My wife's playing it now, and she's like in love with it. Now, I've been telling her about it for years, but she never wanted to go back to the PlayStation 2 and try it. Mm-hmm. And so now she gets to experience KOTOR. I would love a fucking remaster of Knights of the Old Republic, man. That would blow minds.
I'd rather get a new one.
Yeah, I would rather get a new one too. I wouldn't mind getting a remaster of the old one either. But yeah, they didn't really show anything with Star Wars, and of course they ended on Battlefield 1, which I gotta say looks good.
It looks real good.
Yeah.
But guys, Battlefield 4 looked good.
That's true.
It looks good.
It was a good game.
It looked fantastic. It's one of the best games I've ever seen as far as like graphics go. I mean, it looked stunning.
Yeah. Great. And so it's more Battlefield. I do look forward to trying out this old World War One, the weapons and some of this melee stuff and riding around on horses. It looks engaging, but my one hurdle for any Battlefield game is the way that it controls. And I know some people don't understand it. Briar, you know exactly what I mean.
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
It's one of those situations where I just can't wrap my head around. I can't go from playing Titanfall, Destiny, Call of Duty, and then go to Battlefield. It's like the one that stands out.
Slower
it's
experience.
So different for me.
Yeah.
I know some people in the comments like, Beasley, you just don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't. But yeah, they showed some live gameplay of Battlefield 1. Some celebrities came in there. Lupe Fiasco, Wiz Khalifa. If we can call these guys celebrities.
Snoop Dogg
came in there. Yep. And they came in and they went in a 64 player versus lobby. So it's 32 players each, and it actually worked, and I didn't see any hiccups. So
That's great.
hopefully they're working on their servers. They don't want another Battlefield 4 situation.
I'm not buying this game day one, I'll tell you that. But if it comes out and people say, yeah, it's working great, I'm really interested because it looks phenomenal. And like the setup of the World War I thing, like that's fresh, that's original. Like I'm really looking forward to it. I hear what you're saying about the Battlefield gameplay. I did start to get used to it with Battlefield 4. For the first year though, I never felt like they really had fixed that game, like made it right. But I did end up enjoying it, like running around with assault rifles and SMGs in close quarters battles. Like I enjoyed it, right? So I'm hoping that they launch this thing right this time, and it's a platform they can build on because the game looks sweet.
Yeah, it looks stunning. That
Yeah.
gameplay was amazing. That live stream today, oh my god. I was like, I'm sold. It looks so good.
Yeah, I'm completely down to play this. I can't wait. I just want it to launch well.
I do too. Yeah.
So Robbie, overall, how would you rate the conference today? EA's E3 conference.
Man, if I had to score it, I would give it, I think, a 5 out of 10. Because it wasn't, I don't want to say it was bad. It wasn't good, though.
A 5 out of 10 isn't bad?
All right.
It's not good.
Titanfall 2 was good. I was excited about that. Wish they'd shown more. Mass Effect Andromeda, I like the trailer they've shown. Battlefield 1, obviously, love that.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was sports games.
Star Wars was supremely disappointing. If you're a FIFA fan, you're probably excited about that. If you're a Madden fan, maybe you like that, maybe you didn't.
They didn't really show anything for Madden, though, other than the competitions. I would probably have to say around a 6, Robbie. I mean, that was my original thought, that it wasn't anything special. It wasn't
horrible. When it was over, you're like, that was dog shit. I was like, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm keeping it real. I mean,
I was reading your tweets. Yeah, you guys were not impressed.
By the end of the conference, I swear I was like more tired than I was when it started. I was like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, you were upset.
I got to go do the Beastly Thoughts show so I can wake the fuck up. One of those situations. I feel bad for E3's conference today, and I look forward to seeing what Ubisoft, Sony, and Microsoft have to offer in the coming hours.
And Bethesda tonight.
Shit, Bethesda's
10 Eastern. Yeah.
Hopefully, I think they're probably going to do a little bit better than EA because they don't do nothing but sports games. So they got some good stuff coming. I'm excited. So we do have
overall, like the EA conference was fine. The only thing that frustrated me was that they're like, we have more coming, stay tuned. That was the frustrating part. But Bethesda will be great tonight, and then we have Microsoft, Ubisoft, and Sony tomorrow.
What makes Bethesda so great? Like, what are you expecting to see at Bethesda that's got
I have no clue what he's talking about. The only thing I'm thinking they might show is the Evil Within 2 and possibly Skyrim Remastered.
Wolfenstein sequel. I think that's definitely going to happen.
Yeah, I would expect to see a Wolfenstein sequel. I like the Wolfenstein. I'm not going to have a shit fit about a sequel for it, though.
Oh, I will.
Yeah? Skyrim Remastered, I certainly won't get excited about.
Me neither.
You can just play it on PC and put a bunch of mods on it, and you've got Skyrim Remastered. Right? Like, what are they going to do?
I want to backtrack to what you said a few moments ago, Briar. I would pay money to see you have a shit fit. How does that even start?
Briar shit
Mostly
fit.
There's like some jiggling. It's kind
of... We know how that happens.
Well, I think that when it comes to Bethesda, I think that the most exciting things about their conferences is stuff that we don't know.
Absolutely.
Because right now we've got a few little games rolling around the back of our head. And the fact that they're coming to E3 again lets us know that they do have something to show us. So.
They have something to announce.
Is Dishonored 2 coming? Is Bethesda Dishonored 2?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty big.
There's going to be lots of gameplay of that. Yeah, it's coming November. So.
Yeah, because last time they only showed us the pre-rendered, intro of her running around, which, of course, it's CG.
But they announced the game, so they weren't going to show gameplay.
Now, the gamers and people who love Dishonored will now finally see what the shit's going to be about. So that's exciting news. And of course, tomorrow's the big day. Unfortunately, I'll be at work when Microsoft is going. So I'm going to come home tomorrow. I want to watch this, a later stream of it live because people have been begging me to do reactions. I don't know why.
But because based on your Final Fantasy VII reaction last year,
that was awesome. Man, that was so good.
It was good, but you can only have Final Fantasy remastered or remake once. Can't do it twice.
Right.
So yeah, I'm looking forward. The next couple of days are going to be exciting. You know, I'm clenching my wallet and praying to the gods of gaming that I'm able to do this.
I'm interested in Microsoft because I want to see what games are coming out, right? Like, obviously, I want to see what they talk about for games, but I really want to see how they handle this Xbox Slim.
We didn't talk about
Scorpio, right? Like, I want to see how they're going to talk about this because they got, in my opinion, they got a fucking problem on their hands, and I just want to see how they're going to approach it.
Just, a few hours ago on NeoGAF, this there was an image of the Xbox One
Right,
Slim.
there was a leak of the what it looks like.
The S. It's the Xbox One S. And this thing is 40% smaller than the original Xbox. It does support 4K video.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a 2 terabyte hard drive.
Yeah, that's nice.
So,
still a disk drive, which I'm glad to see.
Well, it does have a disk drive. I'm curious as to whether or not it's going to be cheaper than the one that they have now. I don't know.
It better be. It's not going to
to
come with a Kinect. It's not going to come with the HDMI input and all of the TV features.
You think that will cut down the price?
I think that'll cut down the price. They also have
right now it's $299. That's the base price.
Well, they can release the Slim for $299, don't you think?
Possibly.
I mean, it has a bigger hard drive. It's got 4K video. Those are two big features.
It's going to be hard, Briar. I mean,
it doesn't.
I could see them.
It's not the size of a small couch.
Or a VCR from the 80s. Yeah.
A small. I'm sitting on my Xbox One right now.
That thing is pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I actually looked at it the other day. I'm like, that thing is huge.
Yeah.
It actually is pretty big.
I uploaded a video about this right before the show, and I was looking at my Xbox One when I was talking about it, and it is pretty damn big. I'd be stoked to see it. I'd be stoked to see an Xbox One that's 40% smaller, man. Yeah.
I will say this,
pretty damn big.
The thing is fucking quiet.
Oh yeah.
It's got that big muffin fan on the top of it, man, and it is whisper quiet, and I like that about it.
Well, another good thing about the Xbox One S is that the power brick is now inside the console.
That never bugged me as much. I know everybody got all upset about it.
It is pretty fucking big, Briar. That thing is large.
You could knock someone out with that thing. Like, you could swing it, and honestly, man, you have some issues.
Earlier today, I was moving some VCR tapes around because now I'm converting VCR, my old tapes, to MP4. And 2 of them fell behind the TV. Boom, boom. And I moved some shit, and I got down and looked, and I went to grab it, and it was the Xbox One block. I was like, fuck, this thing is big. I thought it was 2
You were
VCR
reaching
tapes.
down on the ground to grab it, and then you realized it fell on the Xbox One block, so you're like, oh, let me grab that.
Yeah, it is pretty big.
Yeah.
So it's going to be exciting to see what they do and what price point they're going to hit. I'm guessing, guys, it's going to be, I would guess, $329.
I think.
Oh, you think they're going to release the Slim for more than they're selling the Xbox One for?
I think that they feel. Look, Briar, this is not the old days, man. They're changing everything. They're fucking releasing updates to consoles now in 3 years.
They're going to sell it for $300. There's no way they're going to sell it for more than what they're selling it for now.
Well, I mean, they could justify.
How can they justify that with a new console coming out next year?
I'm just telling you how I feel, man.
No way.
I'm just telling you how I feel.
I don't.
I'm seeing that 4K video playback.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that 2 terabyte hard drive. Okay. And right there are reasons that Microsoft could keep the price where it is now or possibly go. What the hell are you doing, Brian?
Guys, can I mention something quick?
Yeah.
Because there are leaks that actually are coming out. I just realized this. There was a leak that said it'll be $449.
What?
One of the SKUs.
No.
I'm not kidding you. Yeah. I don't know if that's true
No
or not,
way.
but that's what it says.
There's no
and chat's
way
saying
now.
it too.
I'm sorry. No way. It's not going to be $450.
Briar's going to slap you
It's
with his
expensive,
dick, man.
yeah.
There's no way.
Briar's not having it, man.
Why would they do that? Like, logically, why on earth would you do that when you have another console? You have a brand new console coming out next year.
Yeah, I hope it's not $449, but
I wouldn't release it. If I couldn't release that thing for $300, I wouldn't release it.
So you're saying $300, that's the highest you see them releasing it at right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I don't know.
We'll see.
I think it's a fucking dumbass move if they do anything other than that.
Well, I mean, you gotta look at the history of the Xbox. They've been known to do some fucking dumbass shit in the past. So we'll see tomorrow. At least we don't have a.
Well, I mean, you're a Sony fanboy, but there's a lot of people who've actually bought 360s and watched the price go down over time. you got to look at their long-term business outlook, man. If they try and come out this year selling a $450 Xbox One and then want consumers to come back next year and buy the Scorpio, there's no way. That's just
It'll not
stupid.
be $449. I agree.
It's not going to be $450. That's not even. That's almost as much as it launched for 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was $499 at launch.
And it's not going to come with the Kinect. It's not coming with all that TV bullshit. The thing's got to be cheaper to make now, right? Because it's got the same graphics card, the same processor. So it's got to be cheaper to put those parts together.
What if they announce tomorrow that the GPU is stronger than the original Xbox Ones? Do you think that could justify a price hike of maybe $20 to $30?
No, they cannot raise the price here.
I don't know.
They cannot raise the price.
Brian, we're a team of gamers here, and we can all agree to disagree. I'm going $329. Robbie, what are you going at? $800.
$349. That's my guess.
You're going $349?
Next week we'll be
have
back.
To see. The whole chat is being like, Briar, you're right. Yeah. Ooh, connection's dropping a bit. I think we'll be okay.
All right, so that's our thoughts on the E3 stuff. We do have a little bit of news.
I want to talk about, because we got the Sony conference coming up too tomorrow. And I got to talk about that. Because they have now announced that they're not going to talk about the Neo.
Nope.
Yeah.
So they better have some games. Because if they're going to announce a Neo, they're saying Gamescom now, right? If they're going to announce that at Gamescom, that's in August.
Yeah.
And their excuse for not showing it at E3 is because they don't have any games ready for it, right?
That's what Andrew House said. Yeah, he said we want to make sure we have enough, I think, things lined up to show with it or something. So that clearly means, they weren't ready to show,
they missed a big opportunity to get that thing out in front of people at E3.
Yeah, but Andrew House could also be spinning it. Sony knows now that Microsoft is working on a PlayStation 4K competitor that, from rumors, can at least work.
You're gonna blow it out of the water.
It has
the Scorpio. What the rumors are, the Scorpio is it's gonna be incredible.
6 teraflops of power versus the 4 of the PlayStation 4K. So maybe they're pulling it back. Maybe they're pulling back to see how valid these rumors are and to see whether or not they have the.
How quick can we get a bunch of 1080s?
Yeah. Put yourself in Sony's position. Do you want to lose this lead? Do you want to see that?
No, man, I absolutely don't. But a huge opportunity lost here. Not showing this thing off at E3, and the longer they wait, the more the rumors of the Scorpio are going to eat into their Neo sales, right? Because if everybody knows that Xbox has a new, more powerful console coming out next year, how many people are going to buy this one this year? Especially when you can already play all those games on your current PS4.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a strange time to be a gamer.
It's an awesome time to be a gamer. This is like the shit that gets me keeps me up at night. What are they going to do?
Me too. Oh my God.
I'm really looking forward to it. There's actually Apple's having a press conference tomorrow too. So I got 3 of them lined up. Yeah.
And PC's having a conference as well. That's the other thing. There are so many. Yeah. That's nuts.
Those two press conferences are going to be very exciting to watch, just because I want to know how they're going to handle all this.
Well,
yeah.
When it comes to Sony, they, like you said, Brian, they better come with games, because some of the biggest and heaviest hitters that people have been anticipating have gotten pushed back.
They did it last year.
Yeah. Now this is our first little bit of news. Horizon Zero Dawn has been delayed till February 28, 2017. Mm-hmm. That's a game that a lot of people were excited about this year, and
that's not a big delay. February, though, that's not bad.
No.
Yeah, could be worse.
It would have been the end of the year, but it's still a delay. So they got to have some really exciting IP that people haven't seen in a while. Sony has basically been sitting on a back catalog of games that we haven't seen this generation. So if they were to come out with maybe a Resistance game, please.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him drop some bombs. They came out of the gates hard last year, and they had a hell of an E3 lineup. And to be honest with you, they have enough first and third party stuff that they could pull out. And it's been weird this E3, right? Because it feels like everything has been leaked already.
Yeah.
We already know everything that's coming out. But, maybe Sony's just holding on to those things. It'd be awesome. It'd be be a fun conference to watch.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to be checking that out. Microsoft's conference is tomorrow morning. Sony's is tomorrow. I'm trying to remember. Is it at 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock for us, 6 Pacific.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting, man. And it's been a year, and I'm excited to do this.
Yeah, Sony's always got the benefit of watching Microsoft's press conference too and being able to react to it.
How does that always happen?
I don't know. If I was at Microsoft, I'd be like, hey, let's start swapping this thing every year.
Let's go last.
Yeah, I mean, this is the third year in a row that Microsoft went hours before Sony, giving Sony all the ability to wind up and try to knock them out.
Right.
Come on. I mean, and on top of that, what do gamers remember the most? The thing they saw last.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch 3 conferences, you're going to remember the one you just saw. And so Sony is going, we're going to put your ass to sleep. When you watch our shit, you're going to bed. You're going to have a dream about the PlayStation games you saw. You're not going to remember what you saw when you
I did last year. And frankly, the year before that was the year that they said, oh, and by the way, you can download the Destiny Alpha in 2 days and start playing it. Like, I mean, to be honest with you, Sony's been dropping really good press conferences for 2 years, 3 years.
Last year was like megaton bombs. Yeah.
The one before that was PS4, where they said, "Oh yeah, fuck those guys over at Xbox. We're not going to have DRM."
Yeah.
Like, so they've been killing it now for 3 years in a row. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they got up their sleeves.
They've had amazing conferences ever since the PS4 launched. Like you talk about, 2013, the price, the no DRM, always online and stuff like that. Last year they had like The Last Guardian, Final Fantasy VII remake, Shenmue. Like that was nuts. That was nuts.
Back to back.
Insane. Yeah.
I couldn't wipe the tears away fast enough. I was so fucked up.
Right?
Yeah. It was insane.
Yeah, it was crazy. I don't know if they'll top it this year, but I'm sure they've got a lot.
I'm looking forward to seeing them try, man.
Yeah, we'll see what they start with too. Because if they start with something like The Last Guardian again, it's gonna be a good conference.
Okay. All right, guys. So we got a little bit of news to cover. We got just a few minutes. So let's get through this. Saints Row developer Volition has announced their next game, Agents of Mayhem. And I have not seen this. Why don't you elaborate, Mr. Robbie Skull?
So I gotta admit, I did not like the trailer. It was really corny and looked really dumb. But this
it looks Saints Row-ish.
That's the thing. It is like a spiritual successor to Saints Row.
Yeah.
So right there could be awesome. And it's the same people. It's Volition. I'm looking forward to it just based on that. But yeah, we'll have to see.
I never really got into the Saints Row games, so I guess I'll give it a look and see.
They're fun as hell.
They're fun. They're like a zany, insane GTA. Just mindless fun, crazy shit. But I never really got into them. So, Dead Rising. So what, Robbie? Are you there, Robbie? Robbie's blinking out. Dead Rising 4 is leaked ahead of an announcement at E3 2016.
I'm good.
The game will supposedly be a reboot of the story from Dead Rising 1 and will be announced Monday at the Microsoft press conference. It will be available for Xbox One and Windows 10. Windows 10 is taking all the exclusives.
E3, that leaky pipe, it's just leaking left and right and left and right. Oh, so good.
I did a video about this. Are you guys excited? Is this going to be an exclusive to Xbox One? Dead Rising 4?
Sounds like they got another exclusive.
Are they doing this again? Wow. Way to go, Microsoft. Procure that fucking Capcom money. Shit. Or at least give Capcom a bag of money yourself.
Yeah, right.
It does look good. I don't know if it... I was looking at the images. I don't know if it is Frank West. They say it is him. It looks like a new guy to me. And graphically, it does look like, what we see in modern console hardware now. So, I don't know, man. If it's a reboot or not, Dead Rising 4 is definitely happening. The images are confirmed. So, look forward to seeing that, I guess, in the morning, guys. You guys Dead Rising fans?
Not really. But
I like the first one. I thought it was pretty fun. I didn't play much of the second one.
That's the one I played.
The
Dead
third
Rising
one?
2.
Wait, is there 3 of them?
Well, there's one on the Wii, too. There's one on the Wii, too.
One of them came out for Xbox One right off the gate.
At launch.
That was part 3.
That was part 3.
That was 3.
Okay. Yeah. I liked that, but I didn't finish it. Like, it was just kind of a fun, like mayhem simulator, which I do dig, but I didn't stick with it.
Wasn't that great of a game. I didn't like it, to be honest, but I'm always willing to give it a chance, I don't know. And it's made in Vancouver. That's pretty cool. So, Canadian. It's awesome.
Okay, industry insider Shinobi 602 has teased several announcements to come at E3 2016, including a possible Skyrim remaster. Prey 2 will be back with a different title, and possible sequels to both Wolfenstein: The New Order and The Evil Within.
Please, Wolfenstein. Please. Oh my god, I want that so badly. I want that
You guys
badly.
think I'm kidding, man? I would like to see that Skyrim remaster. I really, really want to see that. And of course, I know, Briar, I have a nice PC. I can play it on my PC now, but I'm not a PC guy.
I have it on PC.
I would like to see. Yeah. Yeah, you told us about it. You were fine. That, and I want to see what they're going to do with The Evil Within. Because The Evil Within had lots of problems. The game was in play style and play mechanics. It felt like maybe a PlayStation 2 game, the way you controlled it and the way it felt. So I want to see, how they're moving forward with the development of that, and if it's truly next gen the next time it comes around. So I'll be excited to see.
That was good. We'll see.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game. I did review it 2 years ago, and it was pretty good. NetherRealm Studios has announced Injustice 2, which is going to be the shit. A sequel to the fighting game Injustice: Gods Among Us. It will release in March of 2017 for PS4 and Xbox One.
Very excited.
You guys get a chance to play that game?
The first one? No, I didn't.
Did you ever download the free version on PlayStation 4?
This isn't working out. Hold on. I'm restarting the call.
Yeah, the call's getting really choppy.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to restart the call, see if we can get a slightly better experience here. All right, we'll see if that's any better. Did you guys...
Did we
all right, everybody hang up. You got to all hang up.
Okay.
All right, let's see if this is any better. Sorry about that, guys.
Let's hope to God everything's okay now.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 113.
Shit goes. Let's just restart it.
I've been playing Quantum Break, and we just restarted time. So what have you guys been playing this week? All right. So,
not restart. Come on.
Briar, did you ever get a chance to play? Did you ever get a chance to download the free Injustice: Gods Among Us? It was on PlayStation Plus.
No, I never checked that game out. It looked cool. I'm not a huge comic book fan. It looked good. I know a lot of fighting game fans are really into it still, so I'm sure a lot of people are excited for this. But it's just not for me.
The thing that really tripped me out about that, and pretty much what NetherRealm has been doing, NetherRealm Studios is headed by Ed Boon. If you guys have played Mortal Kombat 2, his face is on the trees in the background. That's Ed Boon. And he, handsome devil there. What they've been doing with these games is kind of crafting seminal single-player experiences that force you to play as different characters. So they started off with Mortal Kombat 9, where the single-player game you start off as a certain character, you fight 2 or 3 enemies, and you have to switch to another one because the story arc changes, and you're forced to see it from a different perspective. That really blew my mind, especially playing that game through to completion, how they made a Mortal Kombat story better than any of the films, and quite frankly, better than any Mortal Kombat story. They did the same thing with Injustice: Gods Among Us, where you can't really play a single player and play through the entire game as one character. You have to, you have to switch from character to character every few fights to see the story progress. And that story was damn good. It was really, they could have made the Batman v Superman movie. They could have just did the Injustice story, and it would have been awesome. But I'm looking forward to seeing what they're doing here. I think NetherRealm is kind of becoming synonymous with single-player fighting game storylines, because they automatically, we know they craft great playing fighting games, but now they're kind of raising the bar and giving us stories that really make us kind of connect with some of these fighting characters. So
right.
I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. Yeah, Mortal Kombat X was awesome, and Injustice was really good. I played that too. I mean, this will be really good. NetherRealm was amazing at what they do.
All right, so continuing on, I don't know who Shinobi 602 is, but he's a hell of a guy. Shinobi 602 is back with more teases, this time saying God of War 4 announcement is likely to happen at Sony's E3 press conference tomorrow night.
Ooh, I hope so. Yes.
God of War 4, but I guess it's not going to be 4K. Hey, so you guys, Briar, God of War has never really been your thing, right? You said
I actually love the first two. I really dug them a lot. then I played, I think, the PSP one, and I was like starting to fall off of it a little bit. And then 3 came out, and I still liked it, but it was like, all right, this series is done.
It's run its course.
Kratos yells way too much. Let's just hold him back.
Well, I think that, one of the things that we all know is that they've heard this argument, and it's a loud majority saying that.
Yeah.
That Kratos is kind of floating in the same
It just felt like the same shit every time. So, like, if they're gonna reboot it, they got to do like Norse mythology, or they got to do something different with it, right? A new character, like new mythology. I'm still okay with like the epic, huge boss fights
battles,
and like, but like I'm done with the chain whips. I'm done with Kratos. Like, we got to switch it up here.
Well,
I hope they do something different.
The thing is, they really can't change Kratos, because if that was to happen, it would kind of remove the validity of the character up until this point.
See, then I'm done, because if they don't switch it up, man, I'm like, I'm done with Kratos. Like, I'm done with Hades. Like it's angry motherfucker getting pissed off.
He just
Like,
yells
how many?
at everyone. Like, what's his issue?
Like, I'm done with his storyline. How much more can they add to his storyline? He's such a one-dimensional character to begin with. Like.
I would like to see a new character take the helm of the
me too. Totally.
And
they can even call him Kratos. I don't give a shit what they call him, but just have somebody new, and like, don't make his wife and children's ashes smeared all around his body. Like, do something different, please. Because if I swear to God, like, we heard that story of what happened to him in like every one of those games, and it just got real repetitive at the end.
The one thing that I hope they don't change is all the boobies. There's lots of titties in those games.
Oh, the sex is so good.
Yeah, it's so gratuitous, Robbie. It's just not good. But I want a character that actually has layers. Kratos doesn't really have layers. There's like 2 layers to the guy. You peel off one, and that's the other
Onions
one.
are like layers.
Yeah, I mean, I want a character that you can kind of relate to, and Kratos isn't that one.
Did no one get that reference?
Yes, I got the reference, Robbie.
Shrek, okay.
So, continuing on with our last little bit of news, a release date for ReCore has leaked ahead of the announcement at Microsoft's E3 press conference.
What's ReCore?
It's the ReCore of the core. It's the game that what's his name? Mega Man. I'm trying to think.
Keiji Inafune and Armature are developing this game. It's ex-Metroid Prime devs are working on this.
It's the game where the girl was walking with a little robot dog, and the dog had that little core of light inside of it.
Yeah, and they were in the desert.
She was in the desert inside of like a catacomb, and then these people came in there to attack her, and she took the core out of the dog and threw it into a robot that was just dead, and that robot came to life and had the essence of the dog. So basically, you take that core and you put it into whatever is in the game to help you, get to where you need to be. It looks exciting. I like these kind of games coming to Xbox One, and it looks like it's going to be released September 13th, 2016 for the Xbox One and for PC, TBD.
There has to be gameplay tomorrow. Yeah, there must be.
Yeah, well, I think it's exciting. I'm right now, this is my favorite time to be a gamer in the whole year. I remember back in the day, there were only 2 video game conferences all year. Now there are like literally 9 or 10.
Well, you get all the PAXs. And now news actually happens at the Game Developer
Game Week.
Yeah, Gamecom, Tokyo Game Show.
Yep.
PlayStation Experience now. Like, we got a lot of them.
There's a lot.
Yeah, so that is the news.
Plus, everybody's pulling out of E3 anyway and doing their own thing.
Yeah?
Announcing everything ahead of time. Yeah.
Now, I'm just curious, because I don't follow Nintendo probably like I'd like to. What is Nintendo's deal with this year's E3? Are they going to be there at the show, or are they going to do a Nintendo Direct?
They're doing the Direct.
Zelda. Yeah, and they have a Treehouse Live.
So they're going to do the Direct. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be mostly Zelda. I think they're going to show off early Pokemon stuff. I'm not sure.
I think Sun and Moon. Yeah, they're going to show. That's about it, though.
They're really gearing up for next year, I think. Like, they need to knock it out of the park next year. They're in trouble.
They're waiting to set up NX.
How long can their mobile division really support that company? Right? In the face of mobile phones?
Yeah.
Like, how can that keep going? In the face of the iPhone and Android?
Well, I was looking at VG charts last night, and the 3DS was the second best-selling piece of video game hardware last month, followed by the PlayStation 4, and then the Xbox One was behind that. So the 3DS is still.
That's what I'm saying, though. Is like, how long can that keep going for?
I don't know. I mean, as long as people keep having kids.
iPads and iPhones and all these tech devices in everybody's pocket, like how long can you just buy like a portable device like that just meant for video games alone?
Yeah.
You know what? I think the kids like him. Every kid in my house has one. My older son, he turned 15 on June 2nd. We went to Ohio, and he lost his 3DS in about 14 games.
Mm-hmm.
I told you guys about that.
Yeah.
And so on his birthday, he asked for another one. So he's got another 3DS XL and some games to play on that. And he's got tablets. He's got an iPad. He's got an Android phone. He played goofs around on that stuff, but he wanted Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, and he wanted some other games, and he wanted his 3DS. These kids just love that thing. Parents we have to fucking follow it.
Maybe
your son
maybe
comes
now,
and says, Dad,
but I don't know, man. Like going into the future, I just see it like moving past like having like a device that just plays video games.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to get technical, the 3DS does play more than video games, but it is much more cumbersome than other traditional means like tablets, phones, and of course consoles. But it does do more. But I think Nintendo is working on the successor to the 3DS. They have to be with this NX. I think
MH is the code name for the supposed
MH. Whatever that is going to be the successor to the 3DS, and it's going to hopefully trumpet in everything it does, and even more connectability.
All I want is I want both of those things to tie into the same store. So if you cross by, let's say, Mario Brothers 3, you get it on both your console and your handheld.
I hope that is.
Yeah, and then I want it to be powerful enough, though that isn't going to happen now, especially with the new consoles coming out from Sony and Xbox. I want it to be powerful enough to get cross-platform games over there.
Yeah.
And then obviously I want Nintendo to start releasing some fucking games.
But Briar, they still might be powerful enough. The thing is supposed to be as powerful as the Xbox One.
Right, but the new Xbox One is going to be a third as powerful as the new Xbox One.
Yeah, but all the games on the old Xbox One are still going to play on the new.
Yeah, but come on, man. Like, if they release another console that's like significantly behind what Sony and Xbox are doing, it's going to be another toy for kids.
Yeah, but if they're using x86 architecture and they're using the similar hardware to the current PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, there shouldn't be any issue porting those games over to it.
We have no evidence they're going to use x86 architecture.
That's why I said if.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be using cartridge-based architecture. We won't know until they release it. But if that is
big bag of dick architecture, who knows?
Big bag of dicks everywhere. I mean, I guess it's all rumor and conjecture at this point. But
Sony copyrighted that with the PS3.
Huh?
The bag of dick architecture.
You got that right.
Yeah, but
shitty. If it's x86, which I hope it is, because if it's not, they're shooting themselves in the foot. Then they have a great possibility of getting third-party support. It won't be hard for developers to port games over to their console. If they want to create this taco-shaped Engage cartridge that goes in there, then developers are not going to want to fuck with them. And Nintendo has to know that. Everybody's telling Nintendo that.
We're screaming at them. Like, you have to do this, and we know.
I hope. They got new management. They got new leadership. Hopefully the new leadership, listens to the consumers and the people who are the lifeblood of the company. I want to support Nintendo. I want to play my Wii U, but it just doesn't have anything that's really resonating with me. I want the NX to be awesome. I want the new handheld to be incredible, but only if they don't just do fucking Pokemon games. I want something that's going to engage me at 36 years old. I want something, something that's made for people who grew up with Nintendo. I remember being 5 years old playing my Nintendo. They just haven't realized that we've grown up. They're treating everybody like we're fucking comic book characters. We're not the same age anymore.
For us, there was one game that came out for the current console, for the Wii U, that was worth picking up, right? There was one game, maybe two. And that was Bayonetta. And for me, Mario Maker was worth the purchase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for me, Smash Brothers. I got you.
We've just aged out of Nintendo, and they have not done a good job of keeping people who grew up on Nintendo active Nintendo consumers, where Xbox and PlayStation are just stealing their lunch.
Yeah. And speaking of that, I'm sending you Bayonetta. I got to send that to you.
All right.
So
nice.
Yeah, we'll get through the details after the show. But I'm sending you that. You've got to play it at some point. Just don't put it next to Far Cry 4.
As far as the Wii U goes, the only real games I felt satisfied with, purchasing a Wii U for, would be Mario Kart 8, and Mario Maker. That's it, really. I mean, there just isn't much to really justify it. So I don't know. It's just
it's the sad case. I know there are games that people really, out there. Splatoon, people really like that game.
There are great games for sure, but there's just
Toad Treasure Tracker, Treasure Tracker. But you're right. You know, I don't buy a console just for the possibility of having 6 good games.
Yeah.
I want a console that has many. You know, I want a plethora of games that I can choose from. And
I
I
have
want
bought
many different genres.
every Nintendo console, I think, except for the GameCube at launch. And I'm not buying this one on launch. It almost doesn't matter what they say before it launches. I want to see the game that I need for it.
Yeah, I gotta wait and see on this too. After the Wii U buying it at launch, like I gotta wait on this one.
Well, the only Nintendo console that I wanted at launch, I didn't get it, was the 64. And the reason being is I actually walked into a Blockbuster Video. For you young guys, Blockbuster Video used to be Netflix.
I remember Blockbuster.
They used to sell these black things. They were like cartridges, and they had these reels on them.
Yeah.
And in between the reels, there's tape. And you put those tapes into this thing that looked like an Xbox One.
Yeah.
And it would put images up on your TV. But your TV, it looked like a microwave oven.
Yeah. Some of them were floor models, yeah. I went into a Blockbuster Video, and I picked up the Nintendo 64 controller, and it kind of broke through a wall in my mind. Controlling Mario in 3D space like that.
Yeah, that was an incredible game.
It blew my mind. I need a 3D Mario game. I need to see real evolution of the series. You know, I think Nintendo honestly has just been cashing in on the Mario name lately. You know, all these 3DS games.
Mario Maker's fantastic, man.
No, I'm not talking about Mario
Maker's
Maker.
fantastic.
I haven't played that one. I'm talking about the 5 different 3DS games I have for my daughters that all have Mario's name on it. And it's almost like Mario 3D World, 3D this, 3D that. Yeah. I want a real, true to life 3D Mario experience. And if the NX has that at launch, that'll be probably my reason to grab one.
Oh, the chat's just like, oh yeah, Blockbuster, making fun of the kids and stuff.
Hey man,
Blockbuster night was every Friday. Oh.
Yeah.
I used to have a girlfriend who had a Blockbuster Video that would fucking deliver. How sweet is that?
What?
Yeah. Oh. Her local Blockbuster would deliver. So you could call them up, tell them what movies you wanted to see, and they'd bring them to your house.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was before pay-per-view though. So like now that's no big deal. Of course you could do that.
Who cares? Yeah. Back then. Yeah.
Wow. There's like 2 Blockbusters left, man. It's just crazy. I think one's in Indiana, and I don't know where the other one's at, but I would pay money just to go there and walk through that shit. Now they got DVDs and Blu-rays everywhere, Briar. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
I used to go inside. Blockbuster used to rent PlayStation 1s. Mm-hmm. You could go inside there and rent a fucking console. That was just insane. These kind of things don't exist anymore.
I closed down a Blockbuster once at my old job. They sent me in there to basically pull the servers out because the servers were new enough that they wanted to repurpose them for something else. So I went in there and I went into their like back office, and the whole place was cleared out. It was all disgusting in there. And I pull these servers out, and they had one of those sticky traps, you know, like those rat traps.
Yeah.
The thing was half stuck to a rat and half stuck to the server. I'm like, I'm out. We ain't doing this.
Wow.
You can leave your rat trap Blockbuster Video fucking server here.
Oh, God. Well, look, guys, it looks like we're almost out of time. I look forward to this E3, man. It's going to be really exciting. I'm sure we're all going to be in Twitter. You guys follow the 3 of us on Twitter so you can see the witty banter that goes back and forth. But there's going to be a ton of news. There's going to be some really exciting stuff. For the most part, I want to try to stay away from it because I got some live stuff that these people just want me to do. I don't know why. Everybody just hits me up in the comments. Beasley, please do the live.
Yeah,
do it live.
The live reaction. Well, you can do it for Sony, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
You'll just have to stay away from Twitter until you get home to watch the Xbox One. Or do it on your lunch break.
Yeah,
watch it on your phone.
I'm not going to fuck with Twitter at all tomorrow. I want to come home. My wife's already going to have the video ready for me to watch. I want to get naked and sit in front of the camera and want to go.
Damn, what a good wife. Oh, that's great.
You got that right.
All right, let's run this down real quick. So tonight we have the Bethesda conference, which is 7 o'clock my time or 10 Eastern. So we got that. You know, we'll expect Dishonored 2. We'll see that. Some other announcements maybe from Machine Games or someone like that. Tomorrow at 9:30, I believe it is my time.
12:30 Eastern here.
Is Microsoft. 1 o'clock Pacific /4 Eastern is Ubisoft. And then the night is over with Sony at 6 o'clock Pacific, and then 9 Eastern.
9.
Should be a good day, man. It's going to be awesome.
Predictions. Who's going to win E3? Just based on the rumors that you feel in your heart now.
I want to say Sony, because I feel like they have some good first-party stuff, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like Microsoft.
I think it's almost got to be Sony by default. I can't think of what Microsoft is going to do to make me happy. Ubisoft is a wild card.
They're kind of good and bad. They've been really good.
They're a wild card.
Yeah.
Well, Ubisoft, they're going to come out and say Vivendi owns us now. Everybody.
Not shit like EA.
Yeah, right.
Have a good day.
I heard about that.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're going to walk out there and say, this is our last E3 press conference as Ubisoft. For tomorrow, we will be called Vivendi Soft.
Yeah, I think it'll probably be Sony. Unless Microsoft has got something really special up its sleeve.
I think that this Slim news could be exciting. I mean, depending on what's in the box.
How do you?
What's in the box?
I'm so curious. How do you sell this Slim with the new Scorpio coming right after? I'm looking forward to seeing what the new controller is going to be like. To be honest with you,
that's why leaks are not good, man. Somebody leaked all this information and really thoroughly fucked Microsoft, because if that hadn't been leaked that they were working on 2,
that was.
I'm sure Phil Spencer is sitting in Washington right now, just like, the leaks. I'm sure he's pretty upset about stuff like that, but it happens, Like all kinds of stuff has been leaked today, especially. There's been so many leaks.
Yeah.
What if the only way they could save it, Brian? This is how they could save it.
Yeah.
They come out on that stage tomorrow. They say, this is our Xbox One S. This thing is smaller, quieter. It has 4K video capabilities, and this is our last Xbox One. Next year, we will be launching the Xbox 2.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that could happen?
I'll call it Xbox 2.
Or we could be launching the 9th generation of our consoles.
You know what they should call it? The Xbox 361. Right? Right?
If there's a prospect of this thing not being this is foolish. If there's a prospect of this thing being the last Xbox One, it's the last Xbox One. I mean, the Xbox 2 doesn't play Xbox One games.
Possibly the Xbox 361.
There's too many fucking numbers here. I feel like we're in math class. What the hell's going on? Shit.
Oh man, that's
Xbox 361 hype.
361 hype. Oh shit, man! I think that's like you hear him laughing, bro.
Yeah.
Just hold off a second, Bobby. That's the only way that I think they could sell this thing is if they tell people this is the last Xbox One.
They got to mention it, right? Don't they?
Yeah, I mean, people know about it. They got to address it in some way. But what if they say that's our 9th generation Xbox One? We're preemptively striking our competition. We're bringing out the Xbox, whatever it's called, next year. And this thing is going to be 3 times as powerful as the current Xbox One, and it'll be a completely new generation of gaming.
Yeah, they got to say something.
That could help them sell it.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Brian,
all right, guys. I think that's going to do it for the show.
Sad about it, man.
I gotta get ready for Game of Thrones, man. Game of Thrones is tonight. We recorded the show an hour late, so that means I got less time to get ready for Game of Thrones. Right, I still got to fit my chest plate and my helmet and those boots. I tell you, it takes me 10 minutes just to lace up them boots.
I'm coming over again. You know what?
We do Game of Thrones here.
You got me started, okay? It's time for me to start watching that damn show. Thanks, everybody, for watching the show tonight. I had a great time, man. This has been really fun, speculating on all this stuff and talking about these conferences. EA could have done better. I wish they did, but we still got 4 great conferences coming our way. So
absolutely,
hit us up on Twitter, guys. And if you haven't followed Briar Rabbit's Twitch page, follow it now. This guy's amazing.
He's beautiful. Yeah.
Look at it. He got the fresh haircut, green screen. Made me feel fucking bad when I came
get to be a part of the rabbit hole. Why wouldn't you want to join? Follow the channel. Watch yourself on the way out, though. It might be a little sticky.
Be a part of the rabbit hole.
Join the rabbit hole.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody. Thank you
Game
so
of
much.
Thrones. Game of Thrones.